Hello my fellow board gamers, today I'm bringing you a run through of Space Lane Trader. If you're after an overview, check out my video I brought you guys last week. Now this game is brought to us by Arctic Lynx Games and the designer is Jesper Bernal. Now this is a 1 to 8 player game, that's right, 1 to 8 players, and it says it takes anywhere between 90 minutes to 150 minutes. A 2-player game today I would say would normally take anywhere between 90 minutes and 2 hours, and this is that sort of medium complexity game. Now there is a link in the description to the Kickstarter for this one as well. Now there's only myself as usual. I got a 2-player setup, and pretty much I'm not going to do much of the rules. I'm going to kind of dive straight in because it's quite streamlined in terms of the actions. But a couple of things to note: this version you see is the kind of prototype preview copy, so things will change once Kickstarter has been fully completed. Various things, like there will be, you know, on these ships here, there'll be inlays to put your counters, equally the same here, and the cards will be various better quality and the ships, but I think this copy is great, to be honest. So yeah, bear that in mind. There'll be some subtle differences. And the game itself, then, we are captains competing to buy cargo and ship it around in our little cargo ships across this solar system to make the most profit. And whoever gets 500k in this particular game, you can go up to like 700k in some of the longer games, and you get back to the solar system here, you will be the winner. So you're going to be kind of going around this solar system buying goods and then selling them at various locations where they're after. You got this kind of market here representing the demand for various goods. You got this reference sheet which really helps you with the sequence of play and where those goods are to be purchased and where you can sell them. And in front of us then we've kind of got the blue player here and the red player here, and I've selected the scientist for the blue player, and there's a host of, you know, fantastic description. There's a lot of backstory to the universe, the politics, the society in this game, but I'm not going to go through all that now. It's literally a run through. Now this character, the scientist, has a special rule where they can get 5 XP instead of 4 when they go to train, and you can see they start with 15,000 credits. I'm then going to turn that one over and put my cubes on the S's here, and that'll make sense shortly. The reds today have gone for the pirate captain. They're going to get 20,000 credits, and their goodie is they can take a cloaking device from the equipment card and they pop it to the side, and that's got a powerful benefit which lets them do attacking, because they're a pirate, on planets, whereas usually it can only be done on these sort of trade lanes. So let's set them guys up. So they got the money, and we've selected these ships here. Now these are the cargo transports. You can upgrade throughout the game when you go to this spot here, and you can pay some big bucks, 150,000 credits, to go to a cargo freighter, and that gives you, you know, more stats, bigger capacities when you load your weight, and you have your energy capacity. And if you want, you could also go to a cargo carrier, and you can see there's maximum equipment levels you can increase, and various other benefits as well, which I'll go through on these 2 particular ones we've started off with. We have got ships. Those ships can be represented by these miniatures as well. The board, then, there's a host of different planets we can go to. In a 2-player game, we've blocked off certain ones, so that's what these are not in play. And we are going to just dive in, folks. So blue is at first, and why is that? Because when we go for the turn order phase, which is step 1, whoever has, well, you start off with the smallest ships. So the cargo transports we both have. So if, say, blue did have one of the carriers or one of the freighters, they would naturally go last, or depend on how many players. So they've both got the same type of size ship. We then go to whoever has their least money, and these guys started off with 15,000 credits and these guys 20,000. So that's why blue is first on this little player order marker at the bottom. I should say there's a lot of stuff. I've just about managed to squeeze it in the camera view. So that's turn order. That is literally step 1. We then move into the action phase. So 1 player at a time will do as much as they can, following all the kind of rules here. And we said blue's at first, and blue can. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate a lot of them to kind of give you a real insight as to what you can do. They might not be the best strategic moves, but the first thing you can do is train to get experience points. So again, you can do as many of these as you want, but if you decide to train, you have to do it on the planet with the Academy symbol, and we do start on the solar system one here, and you might not be able to quite see it in the camera, but here it's kind of a little microscope, and that is the symbol for the Academy. So literally you can't do anything else but train during your turn. Now I'm going to demonstrate this with blue doing that, and this is going to be their whole move. Now they would normally go at 4 XP, but their special ability allows them to go at 5, which means we can kind of get more experienced in either piloting, combat, trade, or our special section at the bottom. Now each of these character cards, and there's a host, I'll just sort of show you a couple of them: the preacher, the engineer, the soldier. What else have we got? We've got the merchant, the android, and the entertainer. So loads to keep you guys busy. So in terms of, they're all the same for the top 3 rows in terms of the special actions. And when you hit one of these number, it kind of tells you a benefit you achieve or an ongoing permanent benefit. But the special section at the bottom is unique to each player and kind of plays to your strengths as that character. So I'm going to go 1, 2. And we're going to go 3, 4. So when I hit that 1, it says here, add 1 XP each to the trade, combat, and piloting rows. That's just genius. So 1, 1, and 1. And I'm going to get all those benefits as well. Now, I should add that I can actually go at 5 XP, can't I? So I'm going to go at 5 on that row. I've also hit a number 2. You may train on any planet space now, not just the one of the university. So when I land on a planet, I can decide as my entire action just to train. So that's great as well. Now, I've also gone up on these. So I've hit a 1 there, which is take a speed token. So just on the side here, you've got tokens for speed, attacking, and defense. So they're all face down. They've got numbers, I think it's from 2 to 4, 1 to 4 on some of them. So this, I've got a 2. I'm going to keep that aside, and I'll hopefully get to show you that in a minute. Combat, I've hit a 1, so I can take a defense or attack token. I think I'm going to go for a defense token for now. And at the bottom, number 1 says take 10,000 credits. So what a great start, literally, for just training up. So that's all my XP. That's all they can do on that go. It then goes to the next player, which is Reds in this case. And what can we demonstrate next then? We could take a freight, which I wouldn't really do normally, but I'm going to demonstrate it. And this is where you take no other actions during your turn, and you have to be on a planet, I believe, but at the end of your turn, you collect 30,000 credits. So again, we're not doing anything, and this is kind of, has to be utilised if you're in debt, and you have to pay that money back as soon as you can, or if you just really need some money because you're going to want to go and buy goods from other planets. So literally, that is the first 2 type of actions you could do, and that ends their turn there. So that is literally, everyone's taking their turns. They've done as much as they can or following the rules. You're in the upkeep phase now, which is number 3. First thing we do is add cargo cubes to planets. We haven't even purchased anything, but let's just assume that 2 of these had been purchased from this planet. You can see it says +1 of 4, so you'd literally just take 1 and you would refill that. So you're not refilling them to the max. You just refill whatever that production step says. The next thing you do is remove the 2 rightmost equipment cards. So you take these 2 off, move all these down and replenish there, which I'll do now. Now these upgrade equipment cards are really great for sort of giving you extra benefits in terms of extra defense, extra speed, extra attack, and they kind of slot next to your ship here. And I just haven't even got enough space to have those on, but we will try and demonstrate some of them. So you can see this ship here for the blue player has green symbols on all these various areas, and you can see there's a lot more intricate detail onto there, but essentially you're just looking at these and you can see they're green. You've also got on this ship here, some of them are red, which means they can't upgrade those particular symbols. So if we take, let's say this one here, this 30,000 credits to upgrade it. It's a cargo load computer, so it's going to increase your cargo by 1. So this particular ship, you can see at the top, it's got a load of other stats as well. Its speed is 4, its attack is 10, defense is 9, and its cargo is 3. This card would allow it to go up 1, and you can see, hopefully you can see that, but that symbol matches this one here. You kind of put it to the side, and it would take you 4 energy. So you'd move your energy up in your ship, and you've only got a capacity of 10, and it would do a weight of 4. So hopefully I can demonstrate that to you guys in a minute. So you'd remove 2 of them, done. You then advance the demand markers one step. So this is the demand market, and we're hoping to acquire goods and sell them. So all we're going to do then is move all these one, but you have to bear in mind these low demand and high demand cards. So currently the exotic wood is high demand, so we're not going to touch those ones. They're going to stay in the 6 spot, and this will become a lot more clear when we actually do some selling. Let's see, these leaf ones are going to go at 1. Steel's going to go at 1. I have to be really careful I don't accidentally do the wrong ones. Now, some of these planets haven't got the yellow tokens on because they're not currently in play. That one's going up. That's going up. Wood staying there. And that one is staying on 1. Have I done that right? Yeah. That is fine. Now, this one says low demand, and it says all the details on the cards for you, but it has to stay on 1, which you can see it's there. And that one's on 6. Yep, that's great. So all the others go up. All the others. So basically, it's kind of simulating this increase in demand because they haven't been provided with the goods that you're trying to transport, so the prices have gone up because people really want it. Whereas these, which come from these particular decks and will be revealed at some stage, kind of add an extra layer to it where it keeps certain goods fixed price, either low demand or high demand, which means you can kind of manipulate things, and that's crucial really. In the games I've played, it means potentially the pirates don't want to attack you. You could be holding a host of these low demand goods, which will make sense why you might want to do that, because some of these capabilities, let's say you get to number 4 in the trade, you can treat low demand market event cards as high ones for the rest of the game. So, you might have that ability to treat this as a high demand, that particular resource, but the pirates, they're not really fussed about robbing off you because it's only a low demand value. So that sounds like a lot of information, but it'll make a lot more sense when you get into it. So we've increased the demand, we then advance the turn marker, and it's round 2. Now I should add, the rounds are just literally there to keep track because some of these cards have multipliers of depending on what turn you're on. The actual game end will be when someone in this particular game has acquired 500,000 credits and you get back to the solar system and they win the game. So that was literally the upkeep phase. We will now go back to turn order phase. Nothing's really changed. Oh, well, actually, these guys have got more money now, haven't they? So these guys have got 25, and these guys, so reds will be going, oh no, blues will be going first because they got the least money still, haven't they? Okay, let's demonstrate some movement then. Blue is going to move their ship. Now, in terms of their speed, so I said there's some stats up here. The ship itself then has got the special rules on this corner here, and the ship always moves before freighters and carriers, which is standard to these ships. And due to its awkward design, it may enter up to 2 planet spaces each turn. So I've kind of kept this dice here on a 2. It doesn't say that in the rules, but it just makes life easier for me to remember that can go into 2. But this dice is actually used during combat, which we'll go through shortly. And it's got some system limits where it's like 4 tons you can keep on one of these maximum cards. So if I was to take, I don't think there is any out there, but if one of those required a tonnage of say 6 or 7, you could not, or this one actually, you can see that heavy armor defensive 5 requires, an equipment level of 7, and you can see the bigger ships here, it gives you that equipment level of 7. So that's maybe why you want to go and purchase a new ship, and you don't lose all your equipment and upgrades. They get transferred over as well if the capacity matches that. So where were we? We've got our speed of 4. So this is a slightly slower ship than this one here, which is a speed of 8. Attack of 10, defense of 9, and we can hold 3 cargo. So a bit slower, but we can carry a little bit more. So in terms of our movement then, we're going to move 4 spots. And looking at the board, we're thinking, okay, wood is in high demand. For how long though? Until one of these cards comes out and budges this furthest right off, then demand will go back to 1. So we are going to head to the wood. So I'm looking at this reference sheet, which is excellent. I can see exotic wood, and this sort of line here is where you can purchase it from. Lumen 16. Let's have a look. So you can see you've got all these planets. The names are at the bottom. You've got, let me find the right one. Here it is, Lumen 16. So in terms of what this planet is selling, The arrow coming out of it means they are selling exotic wood at the price of 9k, so 9,000 credits. They are looking to buy, so the arrow going in, if you can, they're looking to buy, which is you selling your resources to them, plants, and they're going to buy them at 18,000 credits. So we want to try and get to this planet to buy what they're selling, basically. So we're going to go, so you see these lines, these are the ones you're traveling amongst. We're going to go 1. Now, this is a planet which is not in play, but you don't need to spend a movement to go through it, or you just kind of go around it. So 1, 2, speed of 4. So we're going to enter the planet, and that costs a movement as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've entered the planet. Now, I'm just going to use this yellow token at the bottom just to kind of represent my movement and speed. So 1, 2, 3 just makes it easier for me. And first thing you do when entering a planet is you draw an event card, and it says here on the sequence of play. And we are in a green planet. Now, the solar system itself, you've kind of got green planets which are allegedly a little bit safer, and they're sort of in that terror sector, and they're monitored by the patrol, whereas the yellow ones are slightly riskier in terms of what the event may be. And if you decide to venture out there, then there's profits favour the bold. And we're in a green one, so we reveal this event card. And what's this? Dealing with the authorities. This is a traffic jam. Now, there's a great description here. I'm not going to read that in this particular video, but at the bottom in bold, it kind of speeds it up for you, and it says what the card's all about. Count your ship as having 50% lower speed. So I've hit a traffic jam, and thematically speaking, I now have to go 50% lower on my next turn. Due to the delay. And so I'll keep that in front of me, but importantly, I get 1 experience because I've gone out into the solar system and I've had a few more dealings as a trader, and I get 1 XP. Now, this is the blue player, so I'll kind of keep this here. So on any column, I can go at 1. And what I'm going to do is go up here to this 3. Now, this 3 says for each time you earn XP from an event card, you earn 1 extra. So for cards I now take, I would have had 2 for that. So this is the benefits of developing your particular character, which is the scientist in this case. So we've moved here, that's fine. And we can pretty much do as much stuff as we're capable of doing. We're going to now show you buying. So we're on the planet itself. There's 4 cubes of wood there, exotic wood, and we've got a capacity of 3. But have we got the money to buy them at a price of 9k each? So if we were to buy all 3, that's what, 9, 18, 27. We haven't quite got enough. I think we'll just buy 1 for now. So we'll pay 10, get 1 change. So we're going to take 1 of these exotic woods. Now, we have a decision process to make. Are we going to buy the trade route permit? And there's a stack of them here, and this is wood in this case. Now, you have to be on a planet when you buy these, and you can I believe you can buy them anytime. But this good we need to store. Where's the wood? All the way at the bottom. So this is going to cost us 3,000 credits in a green area, or if we were in a yellow sector, it cost us 7,000 credits. Now, what does this mean? If you buy this permit, it means you can store these goods, because you notice all the cubes are white, so it takes these particular cards to show you what the good is, in this case exotic wood. We'd keep that in front of us, and that means if we ever get pulled aside, and you can see, I'm just going to kind of be naughty and look through some of these cards, about 1/3 of these cards have this red symbol here, which means your load, your cargo is being inspected. And if you don't decide to pay for the route permit, you are essentially smuggling these goods, and you'd instead put it on one of these round tokens. So there's a couple there for each of the particular goods. So instead you take this, no costs, it represents that you're smuggling wood across the solar system. But if you do get caught by one of those cards with the red symbol at the bottom, they will take these goods off you, all the smuggled goods. So you've lost that value having spent to purchase them. So in this case, we are going to get the trade route, but there's a big but. You can only have 4 of these, and you can't duplicate up on them in your entire game. So you want to be careful as to which resources you're going to go for, otherwise you're going to potentially have to smuggle. And this is going to cost us 3k. Hopefully you can just see that in the camera view. So we will spend 5 to get 2 back. So we've got the trade route. So that was pretty much demonstrated. Another 2 actions here. We've had buying, and we've had buying the trade routes, and it says on here maximum of 4 as well. Okay, we have got 1 more movement, and we are now thinking about where we're going to go to sell that wood. So looking at this reference sheet, we can see we can purchase it here, and these two particular places, Barnard Star and Procyon, are looking to buy, and it kind of tells you Barnard Star is looking for 24,000 credits, whereas Procyon is going to buy it off you for 26,000 credits. So we're looking at where they are. We've got Barnard Star here and Procyon's at the top, so we're probably going to shift up here, I reckon, to try and get to Procyon. So we'll spend our last movement, and that's our movement done there. Now I've kind of covered up certain areas on here because it's a two-player game. Certain planets aren't in place. I've just kind of used some of the excess tokens to do so there, and that is as much as they can do. They've literally utilized everything. So play passes over, red are up, and we are going to demonstrate. So we've done training, take a freight action. We're probably going to have to move, maybe attack another player. Let's go and have a crack at that, shall we? Okay, so here we go. We're attacking straight away. Now they've got a movement of 8. We're going to go 1, 2. We're going to pass round this planet, I guess, so we don't have to spend one there. So 3. So let's budge this up to show that. Now, we've landed on the spot. You can land on spots and not attack, essentially, and you can carry on going. But in this case, we are going to attack. So red declares war on the blue player. So what is going to happen here? First of all, reds are going to look at their attack, which is 10. And the blue player is going to look at the defense, which is 9. So it's 10-9 at the moment. Then each player would have the option to showcase how many of these defense symbols they're going to play, and you can play as many defense symbols as you have. These guys have got 1 secret for now. You'll reveal them in a minute, but the attacker can only play up to 1 on this particular turn attack symbol. Now let's just assume they did have this. Well, no, we're not gonna break the rules. So they've gone 10 attack. These guys have put a defense token in as well. You reveal. These guys haven't got one. So theirs is now 9 plus the 3 is 12 versus the 10. You then roll the dice. Now, if you did have any upgrade cards, like some of these equipment, you know, some of them might give you extra attacking ability or extra defense. You would then add them on as well. So blue has got a 5 and a 5. So the total for these guys is 15 versus, what did we say, 12, 17. So they have been defeated in the attack. The blue players win. And you have to actually have a higher number to be victorious. If the attackers were equal or lower, then they've lost. So these guys have spent that token that's kind of gone back and shuffled in. I'm just going to put these back from 1 and 2 there. Oh, I completely forgot those guys could enter 2 planets, but I don't think they're able to quite reach anywhere on that particular turn. So what do they get as a benefit then? They get to steal 2 cargo, and I'm going to have to just remind myself, I believe the player who was defending actually gets this as well. They get 2 debris cards, and the attacker would have had the choice to get either 2 cargo from this player, so they could have just pinched this wood, and if these guys had the capacity, and then potentially be smuggling it because they haven't got the trade route on a planet, or you get 2 debris cards. Now where are they? They're up here, so they're going to go for the 2 debris cards. And these are great. There's a host of goodies in there. So this particular one is a proximity defense system. It could sell for 35,000 when they get to a planet. They could sell this, or they could just bolt it on to one of their upgrades here, which they could potentially do. I think we're going to do that, actually. So the 35,000 would be great if we get to a planet, but I got a feeling these pirates are going to be attacking us quite a bit. So to do so then, you can see it's got this sort of artillery symbol. It's green. That's great. We can match that. And it's going to use free energy of our capacity, and it's got a weight of 3, so we're already starting to fill up our ship. I am going to kind of just keep that on there for now because I'm running out of space. And we also picked up some diamonds, so there's no cost to hold this, so we can hold this in our ship, and when we get to a planet we can sell it for 58,000 credits. So we'll try and remember that we've got that one. And that was literally combat. And we are, how much movement of these guys? So they've used 3 movement. They can carry on now, and you can only attack at least only once in your turn. I think we're just going to carry on moving, and we're looking at steel here. Steel is currently got a value of, let's just get some steel anyway. So they're going to go in here. That was 1 extra movement. Now these guys can only enter one planet, so this is their one planet for the turn. They've got a cargo of 2, so they're going to buy 2 steel, which you can see the difference in value. Only 3,000 credits. They've got the capacity to hold that, but are they going to buy the trade route, which is in a green planet, so that's 3,000 credits, or are they going to go rogue? And I think we're going to go rogue just to kind of demonstrate. Oh, we completely forgot about doing an event card, so let's do the event card first. I'm just going to get that steel while I got them in my hand. So we haven't actually paid for those yet, so we haven't transferred any money. So we're in a green planet. Take an event card. Let's see what we have got. A pirate encounter. So a pirate vessel is going to attack us with 9 plus a d6. So let's just roll this. So they've got a strength of 4. I probably shouldn't have rolled that first because these guys could have spent some defense tokens, but they haven't got any. So it's 9 plus 4. So their pirates are attacking for 13. And these guys are going to just add their defense of 10. Plus 2, that's unfortunate, that's 12. So 12 versus the 13 they've lost. And what happens? If you lose the battle, you lose 2 of your cargo. Now, they haven't actually acquired that cargo yet because you do the event first, which shows you the importance. If you win the battle, which they didn't, you could get some extra stuff. But we do get 1 XP for having engaged with these pirates. And I think we're going to go for, where are we going to go? We're going to go for trade, which gives us the ability to get 10,000 because we've hit experience of 1. We are now better at trading. So just to refresh, we went in the planet, we did this event card, we get 1 XP, we have a red icon at the bottom, which means we would lose all of our smuggled goods, but we haven't actually taken them yet, so that's great. And this goes in the discard pile here. And if we had a cargo, we'd have lost that as well. So we're actually on the planet now. We're going to buy these originally, like we said. We've got space for 2. We're going to put these steel on here. And that shows we have not paid for the license. That's going to cost us 6,000. And what else have we got to do? They've bought those 2. You don't actually affect anything with demand, only once you sell it. And it goes up in value as we finish out the turns. Now, these guys can only enter the 1 planet, and I'm just going to remind myself of that. But they have got a considerable amount of movement left. Are they on a planet with anything else that's interesting? No, I think. Now, steel. Well, where are we going to go to get to sell this steel? So the solar system, which is back here, or La Sila, if I pronounce that. So just here. So we're going to go. So this is going to be our 5th movement. 6. And let's go 7. Yeah, let's go there because I reckon we could potentially purchase something with the money from some of the upgrades. So we've used all our movement. Well, we did have 1 spare, but we're not going to go anywhere with that. We can't enter the planet because this particular ship is super agile and fast, but it can only enter 1 planet at a time. So Red's pretty much finished then. They can't train because they've already done stuff. They can't take a freight because they've already done stuff. They've moved. They did attack someone. They have bought stuff. So you can see you can do a whole host of stuff. And they can't sell yet, can't buy ship equipment. I'll kind of demonstrate that in a minute, hopefully. And they can't buy a new ship, and they didn't want to buy trade permits. They are smuggling. We literally go to upkeep phase again. So add the cube, the cargo cube. So looking where it's been purchased then. This one says add 1 of 4. So we've done 1 there. That's 1. And that's all the spots. We then up these. Nothing's changed with demand. So wood's going to remain at 6. This is going up, and hopefully I'll give you a good idea of what all this means in a minute. That one stays on a low demand, so that will stay on 1. That is a high demand on 6. These 2 are going up. Steel's not affected, is it? So, yeah, that is the market influenced. And the next thing we do is advance the turn marker to 3. Adjust the number with the bonuses. Oh, that's the advice. Okay, remove 2 equipment cards. I knew there was something missing. So those 2 are gone. 2 more in play. And new turn order, step 1 then. So they've both got the same size ship still, so it comes down to who has the least money. So these guys have got 13, and these guys have definitely got more than that. So blue, nothing's changed on turn order. Over to Oh, did I move blue accidentally? I think I did. It was red I was supposed to move. Oh, where were blue? Oh my days. I think blue was here. Yes, because red had entered the planet. And I think they had 1, 2, 3. I think that, yeah, because blue, yeah, red engaged blue in battle there, didn't they? So, yeah, that should be right now. So blue is up, and they were hoping to sell this one wood at the, they were going up. Yeah, they were going up here, weren't they? Procyon, and you can check on the reference thing just to make sure. Yeah, so they got a movement of 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Enter the planet for 4. So we have spent those. We do an event card first before you try and sell any of your debris, and that is a yellow planet. Here we go. So it's a market event card then, so it doesn't do much to us, but what it does is the one that's been out here the longest, so let's just say it's this one here, will get discarded. And this new market event, so I'll shuffle these along, is affecting oil. So, and it says on there, it kind of says what to do. So place all demand markers on demand level 1 for this good and keep them there as long as this is. So we look at all the oil, that goes to 1 now and will stay there. There's no, I think that's all the oil. And that'll be interesting on the next step when we finish this round, because what we've been relying on is all this wood, and that is now going to full cycle back round to 1. Now, interestingly, on these cards as well, there's an actual couple of extra actions you can do. So say, if you're carrying this good oil, which they weren't, you may also do one of the following. Either sell it this turn before the demand markers are moved. So if it was on 6 and it had to move to 1, then you could sell it quickly. Or you may take a bonus move of speed 3 as your last action of this turn. And equally, if you had played a market high demand. I guess this is sort of compensating you because you didn't get one of these experience points and all the benefits on there. So if you did play this, you could, as the last action in your return, you may also take a bonus move of your ship speed to a planet which sell this good. Or demand markers on demand level 6 for this good. You can keep them there as long as this card's in play. Oh, what's that? At the last action of 2 minutes. Okay, so you get an extra movement to try and sell them, I believe, before the demand changes. At the last action of your turn, you may also take a bonus move of your ship speed to a planet which sells the good. Okay, so you can get out of there and sell that good if you can reach it, which is great because you're getting selling that good as quickly as you can. So we've done our action card. Good, I've remembered that one. We're now, so how many movement did we use? I think we used 1, 2, 3, 4. We've used all our movement because it's less speed on this ship, but we could, we could enter 2 planets, but we can't. We've only got the 1. But we are here to sell, and we haven't demonstrated this yet. So this planet is looking to buy our exotic wood at a value of 25k. We then multiply that, and we are on Procyon here. So we look for the right planet, we look for the resource. It is on 6, but 6 doesn't mean you multiply it by 6. You can see you've got the actual multipliers below it. So this region is multiplied by 1, then by 1.5, and in this case it's times by 2. Now this reference sheet does the maths for you. So we're looking at exotic wood and Procyon, and it says it's 52,000 credits when it's in a times 2. We've got 1 to sell. Now you would add on any little benefits you had, maybe if you were good at trader. It says when you get to step 2, you get 3,000 credits more for each cargo sold for the rest of the game. We're not quite there yet, but bear that in mind. So 52,000. Now the good you sell just goes back to the supply. It doesn't go to that particular place. And we have got some profits, folks. 52,000. And what did we buy that for? I think it was 9,000, and then we paid 3,000 for the trade route, but we're stuck with that trade route now. So we've got some money. We've sold it. Now, importantly, when you sell something, the demand will go all the way back down to 1 for that particular planet. And because the high demand has gone for wood, if it was still in play, that high demand card, you'd leave it on number 6. So you try and get the most out of that. But because it is there, it's gone. It's going to go back down to number 1. What else can they do? I think they're going to sell these diamonds here. So 58k, we sell that. That's discarded debris. And we'll give 2 change. And we'll take 60. So that's how useful selling debris can be. Now, You know, that's if you can hold it until you get to a planet to sell it, because some of them will be quite heavy or require energy, and if you haven't got the capacity, which is why you may want to go and upgrade to one of these ships. And how are you going to do that? Because I'm probably not going to have a chance to do that. You want to try and get to this planet where this symbol is here. When you're there, you can then do that as an action. You pay the money, and I think it's what, 150,000 credits, and look at the extra weight you can hold and the extra energy you've got. And you know, yep, some of them are held out. Cargo of 4, defense and attack, yep, slight similar on some cases. Speed of 9, but this one can only enter one planet as well. Okay, so Blue's done all their movement. We've sold stuff. We could buy some oil while we're here, 4k. And you know what? I've kind of demonstrated buying, so I'm not going to do that now. We've done trade routes, buying new ships, buying equipment. We haven't kind of explained that one. So Blues are just going to call it a day. Over to Reds. Reds we're going to enter here, and I will demonstrate selling again. So they've spent one movement. They do the event card, which is a skilled negotiator. If you choose to employ this person, you pay 10,000 credits, treat the card as a ship upgrade. It's possible to fit in any upgrade slot, and you may ignore the effects of any market situation event cards. So this skilled negotiator can get you out of tricky spots, and we get 1 XP. You know what? I'm not going to keep hold of that one, but I'm going to take the 1 XP, and we're going to move our... I could go for piloting, which gives us a speed token. I'm going to go up on trade and get another 10,000 credits, because that's the name of the game, trading. And we've done our event card. We are now going to sell these 2 steel. Luckily, we didn't get inspected because we're smuggling goods. Now we look at the solar system. We look at what we're doing, steel. We look at the solar system. They're willing to buy it for 18,000, which it says on there anyway. And importantly, we look at the solar system, and steel is currently at a demand of 1.5. So on here, it tells us that it's going to be 27,000 credits. We've got no extra benefits for our trade on there. So 27 times the 2, 54 is that. So we put those back in the supply. We now get 54k. We'll give one change. So they have sold. Selling reduces the demand because they're happy that, you know, not as much demand is out there. Where was that on the steel here? That goes back down to 1. None of those fix that particular resource in this case, so that can move. We can also hopefully demonstrate this little shopping trolley symbol down here. So this is to do with buying ship equipment on a planet with a repair facility or a market. So that's actually a market symbol. And you can see some of the planets have these repair ones. Now, what is that all about? So up here, I've demonstrated these. Well, I've showed you these equipment cards. This particular one here has a little market symbol. So this is what we could purchase here. And let's just go for this one. So it's have we got the capability? Yep, we can. So it's going to take 3 energy to do. So 1, 2, 3. It's a weight of 2, so we've got the space there. It's going to cost us 15,000. And it requires, well, we should have looked first, which I kind of had a sneak on. It is green, so we can fit this defense system on. You kind of put it on here, and that now has a defense of +1, which is probably not what we'd want to do as a pirate. We're all about the attacking. So these get replaced instantly, but you can see this attack of 5, which would be great. I haven't got the ship capacity to have a 7 energy all of a sudden and a 6 weight for that. Was it a quad laser cannons? So yeah, that is how you go and get various equipment cards to add. I think I'm going to leave it there, folks, because I've kind of demonstrated everything now. You've got moving, attacking, buying, selling, ship equipment, new ships, trade routes, the upkeep phase. Yes, we've pretty much demonstrated everything. What a game, folks. There is so much backstory to it as well, which I haven't got enough time to go through, but you can see, you know, it's a whole world a whole universe that's been created here. You have got, you know, different boards as well. So, you know, it goes up to 8 players, it says. So I believe you can work together. So 2 of you can go up against, you know, pairs of 2s. You've got a host of variety in these event cards. Some are really nasty, some have great benefits. I like the way these market event cards help manipulate things. And in one of my games, I had a really lovely system where I managed to get my special up to number 4 here. I get to add 2 XP each to the trade and combat, which boosted all these up. Now, when you get your trade to number 4, I think I said it earlier, you can treat your low demand market cards as high ones, which means, it doesn't affect this, but when you come to trade that particular good, let's say this oil, I get to treat it as a 6, which is a times 2. So I can carry that cargo. And, if this particular pirate's in play, like I said, they might not really want to target me because they're getting it at a low demand. And equally, this particular one's bumping them XP. But these guys, I've got to be mindful, they're constantly robbing from me. And especially when you get to sort of 3-4 player games and you're like, right, do I really want to go near that pirate and I maybe want to start trading up here? What else have we got? We've got various connections which lead out of the board and come to different places. And we've got more goods that can come into play as well. I like how these, I should add that, let's just say, this wood here, well, actually, that would happen. This would happen now, actually. It's at number 6. During the upkeep phase, it actually comes back around to 1. So all that demand has been satisfied by other competitors in the industry. And the demand has now gone back around to 1. This is going to go up, and that may be a multiplier for some of the cards. So yeah, a lot of juicy, good economic stuff going on there. You're trading back and forth. You're making those profits. Are you going to reinvest them in better ships to get you more goods to trade, or are you just going to eke out that win and not really upgrade stuff and just eke out that money again and again? And maybe not spend as much on the trade routes. Maybe just try and smuggle stuff because you want to earn that profit, get it, and get back to the solar system with 500,000 credits for the win. There is a link to the Kickstarter pre-launch page in the description as well. There we are, folks. Enjoy.